Starfield, today on How to Drink. This is one of the drinks. That's good. That's really good. I love this drink. Starfield has been out for a few weeks now. I played it, I jumped in, I found the bars, I am going to make the drinks. I have ordered these drinks from simplest to make to most complicated to make, with one caveat: the third drink in this episode, or the fourth drink, one of the drinks coming up requires me to start an ingredient right now. So I'm gonna take a mixing glass, and these are butterfly pea blossoms. They are dried flowers, you can buy them online. I'll throw a link up here for you to order some if you want. They have a lot of blue pigment in them, and we're going to use them to make some blue rum. But they are also pH reactive, which will let us do a really neat trick. So we're just gonna throw some into my mixing glass. I'm just gonna pour some cheap rum in here. And look, you can see it's already picking up color almost instantly. There we go. They won't affect the flavor at all. They just let us do some neat tricks. The first drink we find at that spaceport bar is called a departure time. It's described as a single shot of liquor, bartender's choice. And it looks to me like a martini with a lemon slice in it. That's a strange way to serve a single shot of liquor. There is some incongruencies in the visual representation of the drink and the verbal, the textual description of the drink here that I have to rectify. Honestly, I think that drink is just a gin martini. I suppose you could make it with any spirit you want. I don't think it's gonna be super exciting to watch me make an ultra dry martini, so let's just get through this one in a couple of quick smashity dash cuts. 2 ounces of gin. We'll just assume I have some imaginary vermouth. Blast it at it. Let's get a couple of ice cubes in there. Stir that up. And take a lemon, cut it into slices lengthwise. So here's my one twist I'm gonna put onto that so that it's not simply nothing. We're going to do a quick spritz of absinthe into the glass. Potent stuff. Drop in our 2 lemon wedges and our chilled gin. And there it is. A departure time, the drink for people you hate. I didn't play the game enough to find out if there's like a well-known toast from it or not, but insert said toast here. Otherwise, cheers. Yeah, I mean, that's really dry. You do get like a little bit of a floral kind of an element off of my unnecessary spritz of absinthe and the lemons. The lemons will do something to it over time. You know, if you let that sit, it will change over time. So why don't we set this aside and we'll revisit it and see if it gets any better. There you go, sitting right there next to Juggernog and Quick Revive and Sunset Sarsaparilla from the episodes where I made those. This is a new arrival. It is a classic highball made with whiskey and soda, lemon, and additional natural ingredients. Visually, it's served in a bamboo glass with a yellow to red ombre color. It's clearly a tiki drink. It has a lime wheel and some kind of a red and orange leaf on top. I am fresh out of red and orange leaves. I do have some mint though, which I think will go well with what we're gonna build here. It says, it's interesting, it gets lemon in the drink, but you can see that it's a lime on top. Maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe it's a little bit of both. Okay, all right, to get this started, we're going to need a lime, probably about a ½ an ounce of lime juice is what we're going for, and ½ an ounce of lemon, ½ an ounce of simple syrup, not too much. Go a little less than that. That's about a third. Thirds would be nice if they put thirds in a jigger. We want to do ½ an ounce of Campari. If you're not familiar, this is a bitter liqueur, probably most directly associated with a drink called a Negroni, which is quite popular. I'm not a fan of Negronis generally. And we're going to do 2 ounces of Irish whiskey. Let me see how this is. Oh, delightful, delightful. We're going to shake this. I don't have one of those bamboo glasses. I do have this, you know, Olmec-looking tiki mug, which feels in that same vein to me. It's the same shape, basically. This glass and all the glasses on the show are provided by Whiskey Glassware. A while back, they asked if they could sponsor me, and I said, why not? You have beautiful glasses. So now all the glasses on the show are provided by Whiskey. If you want to pick up any of the glassware you see me using on the show, use the link in the pin comment below. Use it up here in the corner. Use code HowToDrink15 at checkout. You're going to get 15% off of your order from Whiskey, okay? Thank you very much. I'm gonna throw some ice in here. Throw a big old spear down in there because we're doing a highball. Highball in our tiki mug. Strain this portion of the drink in. Now I gotta top it up with soda. I'm actually out of my CO2 bottles that run my drink mate, which I love. So you won't be seeing that on the episode today. Instead, you're gonna see this lovely can of polar seltzer that I've been chilling under the bar. So very much like an airport bar now. There's nothing wrong with it, it's seltzer. There we go. Get a good little mix going on that. And now, because of their little secret ingredients, I'm gonna throw a float of this Chinola. This is a passion fruit liqueur. Should kind of sink down through the glass, yeah. There we go. Garnish that with the lime wheel and a sprig of mint. Put a straw in it, and we've got the new arrival. It's a very approachable, pleasant drink. There's a lot of passion fruit notes. The passion fruit and the Campari complement each other in a wonderful way. There's just enough tartness to sweetness here. It's such a welcoming drink, honestly, and refreshing too. It's effervescent, it's light, it's kind of fun to look at. Honestly, I like this drink quite a bit. There is a malty undercurrent from the whiskey that is welcome, I think necessary. It really kind of holds the drink together. It gives it sort of its bottom end. It's bitter the way that a spritz would be. So it's sort of like you know, it's in a tiki glass and you think of tiki drinks that are bitter. Jungle Bird comes to mind. I don't know how this would compare to a Jungle Bird. It calls to mind to me like a spritz, a tonic, an aperitif. You know, it's got that kind of a thing going on, but with a whiskey and fruit element to it that is very, very nice. I like this drink. It's a good little drink. I would love to have this at like a brunch. Or like some early afternoon dining thing. So the Viewport Original, it is named for the bar in which it is served. The Viewport, the game says that it's inspired by a vodka screwdriver. It is made with alien fruit. Although in the picture you can see that the fruit is clearly a Fingered Citron, which is fairly alien looking, I will admit. I thought I could just go get one at Whole Foods because I've always seen these at Whole Foods. I've bought them a couple times to play with for the show. Never had much use for them. They're always much smaller when you get them from Whole Foods. They're like this big, but Whole Foods doesn't have them because these are actually out of season. I found a farm in California that produces all kinds of amazing and strange citrus. And they happily went out and grabbed me a couple that weren't quite ripe yet, that are the size of my head. These things are monsters. This is gonna be a stirred drink. Remember, inspired by vodka screwdriver, so orange juice and vodka. We could take orange and vodka and go with that, but it is clear, so it really can't have orange juice in it. Okay, we're gonna start with Luxardo Bitter Bianco. This is a bitter liqueur. We're gonna pour half an ounce. 1.5 ounces of vodka, half an ounce of vanilla vodka, something that I use all the time on the show. Half an ounce of Curacao. I know, we're getting up to quite a few now, right? And half an ounce of Cointreau. A couple dashes of orange bitters, 1 dash of Angostura, and we're gonna stir that up, crack some ice into our mixing glass. Stir the drink! I'm gonna prepare the glass for the drink by taking some of these long and skinny fingers from our Fingered Citron. We're going to try to hold them in place with an ice cube. Pour the drink on top of that. And now take one of those Fingered Citron, and I don't know, if you could pull a peel off of it and do a twist, that's fine, but I think in this case we can just do some zest. It has a really fragrant kind of floral zest. Obviously it has all those citron kind of notes as well, but there's definitely a jasmine-y note to it. I couldn't place it before. It is a little bit jasmine-y. I like that. And there we have a Viewport Original. Let's see how it is. Oh yeah, really fun. This is sweet and approachable. Any more sweet would be too sweet. But it has a bracing kind of lemon front that gives way to a mellow orange. Those are different flavors. It hits both of them. And there's a slight vanilla note sweetening it, kind of leaning it gently in the direction of something like a creamsicle. It is not sweet like a creamsicle at all. This is not quite an aperitif, not quite like a cordial, not quite a cocktail. It's a little bit of all of that. I'll tell you what it is, it's a delight. I'm very happy with the way I decided to make it. Came out all right. I think I got the look right. I think I got the taste right. I'm happy with this. It's a Viewport Original. All right, this next drink is called a Supernova, and 1, it's the drink for which we needed our purple rum, but 2, a little bit of a problem with this drink. The description is that it is a liqueur slush floated over a sour punch of exotic alien fruits. Visually, it is a deep blue on the bottom that ombres up to a light blue, even like a reddish purple on the top. There is no mistaking that look. That is the look of a butterfly pea blossom infusion that is interacting with acid, right? So it's turning red from blue because of the inclusion of acid. If it is a sour punch on the bottom, it would be red on the bottom, blue on the top. So in order to make this drink work, the thing I have to do is I gotta switch it so that the sour punch is on top and the liqueur is on the bottom. Otherwise, we're not gonna get the color right. And also, that is the way that this drink should be built. If you're gonna build a drink like this, you should put the liquors, you know, the alcohol at the bottom. You should put the other stuff on the top. They'll blend together that way. That's the way we're gonna do it. So, my apologies, Bethesda, but frankly, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, all right? You guys want these drinks right? You better leave it to the pros. Ask me. I will work for a very reasonable 6-figure fee. We're gonna take a large highball glass and we're gonna start by putting into this the first half of our drink. I wanna do 1.5 ounces of our pea blossom rum, and you can see that it is very dark purple. Now I want 1/2 ounce of Kirschwasser. This is gonna be our liqueur slush. 1/2 ounce. It's a cherry brandy made from cherries. Now I want 1/2 ounce of maraschino. This is a liqueur made from cherries. Now I want 1/2 ounce of Benedictine. This is an herbal liqueur. We're gonna set that aside, I think, for a second here. In our second half of our shaker, we're going to combine 1 ounce of lemon juice, 1 ounce of grapefruit juice, and 1 ounce of peach schnapps. I can't say schnapps. Really good peach schnapps here from De Kuiper. Now we've got to turn this into a slushy, and to do that, I'm going to use my industrial grade ice shaver. Did you think I was kidding? Because I'm not! You don't need an industrial grade ice shaver. There's no question. This is extremely over the top. However, I bought this for the show a while back, and by God, I'm gonna use it every chance I get. It costs a lot less money than you would think. It just takes up a lot of space. Chuck your ice in. Lovely bowl of snow. Actual, like, basically snow. Zamboni snow, anyway. Okay, so now we're gonna take our glass, and I'm going to just shovel some snow in there to turn this into a slushy, like an actual snow cone. Basically fill it up. A lot of that snow. And now we take our second guy, and we just pour that over. And they should create a really fun reaction in the color. Lovely. I didn't expect it to sink straight through, but that's fine too. It's kind of cool. I've never seen, like, that's cool. I've never seen a drink that's banded like that. Worked out nicely in this particular building. You know, I don't think it calls for it in the game, but what the heck. Look at that, and a sprig of mint seems very welcome to it. And there you have a Supernova. Oh, it's so cool. All right, so this is a really fun drink, okay? It is, first off, beautiful in color, has a color changing component, which is always fun to watch. And obviously it had that deep blue, but that's lost in the transformation. You know, that picture in the game, we don't know when it was taken. You know, maybe it's taken right at the moment of action. So that's what you get with a supernova. It explodes. It has a really good evolution. First off, well balanced. A good amount of sweet to tart ratio here. It is tart, but like there is this bitter cherry thing, which obviously I put in there with the Kirschwasser and the maraschino, that, you know, I don't find in a lot of drinks like this. It's different. It's almost leaning in the direction of a last word, because we have this lemon juice, this grapefruit juice, which is delicious in a drink. I love to see grapefruit in a drink. And the Kirschwasser and the maraschino, they work together to create a bitter, moderated by sweetness, cherry, earthy thing. The Benedictine, of course, is pushing it a little further into that herbal, earthy realm. Overall, I like this drink a lot. I think that the mint helps it too. It's the purple to green is wonderful. It's getting better now because it's starting to thaw a little bit. The only problem with a true slushy like this, like an actual snow cone, is that it doesn't really want to go up a straw. It wants you to eat with a spoon. It does not taste like anything I've had before. If you told me this was a alien cocktail, I would buy it. I think we did all right. I love doing this stuff, by the way, because it's like I get this target from like a video game or something like that. I get the rules that video game has, you know, it tells me what it looks like. They give me a flavor descriptor and stuff like that. And then I gotta like work within that boundary. It's very fun for me. It's a lot of work sometimes for some of these, but it's a lot of fun too to make stuff like this in this way and to be pleasantly surprised and to be like, yeah, I got it. I did that thing. You gave me sort of an impossible set of criteria. Nailed it. Very happy with myself. It's, you know, it's important to be happy with yourself. This one is my favorite one so far. Shit, it's really good. I could finish this. Supernova kicks ass. All right, so the next drink is called the Chimera. Now, the Chimera is a mythical creature that also shows up in Dungeons & Dragons. It's an amalgamation of 3 different beasts, you know, usually like a lion, a goat, and a chicken, or a dragon, or a cockatrice, something like that. That's exactly what this is, because the drink has 3 layers, and I actually wasn't gonna do it because it, to me, looked like it was served in a can, and I was like, well, good thing that drink is in a can, because I'm not gonna make that, because it's impossible. Because this is an impossible drink to make. And I want you to know that, Bethesda, impossible. Not really, because I figured it out, but it should be impossible. The number of things that are happening in here. So let me describe this thing. It's 3 layers in a highball. You have mild cold soju on top, a layer of fruit liqueurs in the middle, and strong dark soju on the bottom. The top layer is whitish clear, the middle layer is yellow, and the bottom is an orange red. Of course, we have 3 heads. We need 3 mixing devices, 2 mixing glasses, 1 shaker. This will be our bottom, this will be our middle, this will be our top. I need 1.5 ounces of sochu. This is a distilled spirit from Japan. Korea also has a version, soju. I think they're more or less the same, made from rice and barley. 1.5 ounces of our sochu. This is the heavy sochu. Mixing glass number 1. Now I need 1.5 ounces of Viking blood mead. This drink is chimerical. Sochu, mead, hell yeah. We're gonna do 3 dashes of Angostura bitters. And now we add 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. Now you gotta make the middle layer. Now we want 1/4 ounce of Midori, 1/4 ounce of Chinola, 1/4 ounce of Italicus bergamot liqueur, and 1/4 ounce of this Wanmei plum liqueur, and 1 ounce of vodka. And that's our middle layer for this cocktail. Now we gotta do the top layer of our cocktail. This goes into the shaker. Now we want our other soju. We're gonna use 1 soju, 1 ounce of this, 1/2 ounce of yuzu liquor, 1/2 ounce of gin, and now 1/2 ounce of heavy cream. So if you've been following along, this is a weird drink. I'm gonna serve it in this highball glass. This is sort of a skinny little Collins glass. By the way, this is almost certainly the most complicated cocktail I've ever made for the show. This one's easy, it can go right down the middle. It's our bottom layer. Now we need our second layer. And if this sits where it's supposed to, I know I'm in the clear. Perfect. And now the final part of the drink, which is shaken. And this should require next to no assistance in floating. And there it is, the Chimera. So it's pretty stable and separated into 3 layers, which is really fun to watch. You could drink it with a straw, but if you just tip it up and drink it, all 3 layers will combine because just the way the fluid dynamics wants to work. Well, that's what I told myself, but that's just the top layer, which is a light, refreshing, lightly lemon. You get that yuzu liqueur for sure, and a little bit of gin, but it's nice. It's very nice. It's very undersweet, but it has this lifted sort of, I want to say it's creamy, but creamy makes it sound thick and heavy. Because we shook it, it's actually kind of aerated and light, right? So it's very nice. If you drink from the middle, it's sweet, tastes like apples, tastes like melon. Oh, there it is. Bergamot, bitter, kind of like Earl Grey tea. And then I think the apples are probably coming from the plum notes, the plum liquor that's in there. Plus, and then the vodka, of course, will give it a little kick. The Chinola is not the, in other words, passion fruit, not super loud here, but it is kind of giving this thing a little bit of bite that would be missing otherwise. Just a touch, just a touch. And if you sip from the bottom, it is sweet, it is allspice, it is honey. It tastes like Christmas. Oh, and then at the very end there, you get, it slides into those soju notes, which are actually really complemented here by the other flavors, by the Christmassy type spices and the sweetness. It's this malty, not like whiskey though. I mean like, God, it's like soju. It's really hard to put my finger on exactly what that flavor is like, but the way it slides into it from one to the next, it's really good. I love the way it looks. I hate to mess with it, you know? It's so neat looking, these 3 layers that are really superpositioned. I don't know if superposition is the right word there. I'm not a scientist, but that are holding into that position. Last time I had it, it did kind of all go down your throat at the same time when you took a deep sip. See if that works again. No, mostly from the top there. All right, let's mix it all up. It's a lovely drink like this. Silk, mildly sweet, fruity, nondescript, just all over the place with some Christmas spices, and there's an undercurrent. The gin is providing some of these like baseline earthy notes that complement the soju, but there's like an undercurrent with the soju of malty. It's hard. I just keep saying malty. It's malty. It's malty. It's not though like an Irish whiskey or a Scotch. It is different in its own way. It is malty, but not the same, which is hard to say. Oh, we made it so ugly. It curdled instantly and looks gross now. Don't do that though. Leave it in its beautiful, I don't even want you to see it. Leave it in its beautiful, pristine, 3-layered state. I did say I wanted to check back in our departure time, see how much lemon got into the drink while I was sitting here. Quite a bit. This has improved dramatically, although it is now very warm. But the flavor profile is much more enjoyable, much more nuanced. You get gin, the absinthe and the lemon all kind of working together in a very nice way. And it's a shame that you had to go, because you had a departure time, because this got better after you left. But 5 drinks from Starfield. I played it. I kind of bounced off of that one. It's not for me. I think a lot of people are really enjoying it. It doesn't hold the allure that Skyrim did for me. I don't know. And it's not because I don't like space stuff. I love space stuff. There's other reasons. There's a lot of other reasons that are not going to happen in this video. Nope. We will, maybe somewhere else, some other time, we'll talk about it. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys another time on another episode of How to Drink. In the meantime, if you wanted to see more of this particular episode, I think there's something I'm going to have to leave on the cutting room floor here. That will wind up over on my Patreon account. You can follow the link in the pinned comment up here in the corner. Lots of extras back there, pins, all kinds of other things happening over there. So if you like the show, you want to support the show, you want to keep the show going, Patreon is great. And of course, I appreciate it. And I hate even having to ask, but thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the links. Check out the info thingy up here for the other stuff. And then also here are 4 more things from the 10,000 years that I've been making this show, right here for you, right now. Stick it out. Check them out. Click right through. Keep watching. Always be watching. ABW.